what I think is kind of neat is being able to monitor what you're using. Of even if you're not concerned or if you don't feel like you use too much, I mean, just like, well, I guess what does it cost to have my family over for Thanksgiving? you know what I mean? Just like stuff like that of just like, you definitely see that spike, and I'm kind of a data freak about stuff like that. Just to be able to see are the changes we're making a difference. Yep. Versus, we'll find out in 2 months, and maybe I've already forgot about it. With the city building, but right. It's real time data.
Real-time data, yep, in that customer portal.
Hey, welcome to the Buffalo Community Podcast. We've got Jason Musburger here from the city of Buffalo with, we're going to talk about AMI and fiber phase 2. Yeah. So we touched on that, this is a couple months ago now with Mayor Downer, but again, phase 2, let's start with fiber and then let's jump into AMI because I think there's some pretty neat things there that are coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate you guys letting me come again. Mm-hmm. Fiber phase 2, we talked about phase 1. It's running away from me.
Tighten up that nut.
Right here?
There. Yep. I think that will be good.
There we go. All right. Phase 2. Phase 1 was more of the commercial build out. So phase 2 is a residential build out. We're looking to add opportunities of 2,700 to 3,000 potential customers on this phase. So it's a big phase. Should be about 65% of the community. Just met with the contractor yesterday, TD&I Cabling, and super motivated on getting in here, getting the project done. They're going to do it in kind of little segments or phases themselves. So we'll be able to sign up customers as we go. So
phases within phases. Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, wow. It's a good thing I'm not in charge of this project.
They called them nodes, and that
wouldn't phase me a bit.
Oh man.
Popular word. But yeah, we're pre-sale itself. We've got about 300 interested folks already. We're going to do some more door knocking and just walk those phases, those segments, and see if we can get more people to sign up. The fiber's here. The communities and the city's invested in it. Mm-hmm. It's up to the community to kind of buy into it, just like Mayor Downer said. Mm-hmm. Excellent product. $65 is our base package. 300 megs by 300 megs.
So when you say that, it's here. The city's already committed
100%.
The investment.
Yep. Now,
again, it's still got to be an excellent product.
Right.
For the customers to purchase.
100%.
Like, yep. It's not like, all right, well, we're doing this, so you better make it work, city of Buffalo, residents.
True.
It's like, no, they still have to have an excellent product for it to really make sense.
Yep.
And it sounds like everything I've heard about fiber, it is. It's better than all of your other internet sources.
For sure. When we first started, we had 0 customers, obviously, but when I came on board, we had like 30 GPON residential customers, and we've grown that to over 200 now. Mm-hmm. All those testimonials coming from those customers are, we don't have any more outages. It's fast. It's reliable.
Yeah.
I can work from home now, and there's no issues. My kids can play video games. We can watch TV. Everybody can do everything at the same time. Yeah. In their own separate rooms. No, I'm just.
Is it the difference from when don't pick up the phone? I'm on AOL chat right now.
Right.
From then to what we know now, from what we're going to go to, basically.
Yeah, the technology has just gone so fast. 300 megs by 300 megs down and up speed is just incredible for your home, and you can get all the way up to a gig. This builds out for the future. The plans for the next 20 years. We'll have 2 gig packages.
Sure.
Within the next 7 years.
Yeah.
How are people? You said you're going to knock on doors, but is there mail that's going to go out? How are people going to be made aware? Like, hey, it's time to sign up if you choose to take advantage of this service.
Timing's everything. With we're all busy. We get mail. Sometimes we read it. Sometimes we don't. We have done mailers. Dan Amundson's one of our sales contractors for the project, just taking a very serious approach. If you get a mailer, it's going to have a QR code on it. It's very simple to scan that QR code, do about a 5-6 question survey. You'll get an email from Dan, and then you'll get to kind of pick out your package. If you want to wait, you can. The benefit of signing up with this pre-sale, due to those segments that we're talking about, you got the hat, I don't know if I can get everyone a hat, that's what you said. That's what you said. Wow, this is...
we were ignored the second you walk in the door.
I appreciate that.
No, I'm sorry to cut you off. The benefit of signing up early is
The benefit of signing up early, you're going to get your first month free, and you're going to get in when that segment goes in. So like any contract, any project, they want to knock out that segment, then move on to the next segment. So if Rodeo Hills is probably where we're going to start, and when they get done with that segment, they're going to move on to Greenbrier. They're going to move on to Schottenhagen. So if you sign up pre-sale, you could have fiber by July 1st.
Yeah, perfect.
Pretty exciting.
Which is neat. So again, respond to it, ask questions, direct people to the City Buffalo website. Yep. If you're interested in that, or even a change, I've always kind of been fascinated with, the cable internet stuff, because nobody's ever happy with it. They're always looking for that change,
right?
And this might be kind of that leveling playing field of up here versus, shopping around at, I don't even know what the cable
traditional,
internet. Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
You gotta ask why you're not happy with it too. Sometimes it's cost, but it's usually the unreliability of it. It's usually when I call into customer service, I don't know who I'm talking to. Sometimes they put me on hold for
if you get
minutes.
to talk to somebody.
If you get to talk to somebody. When you have it local, you're going to talk to Derek, Amy, Steven, myself, maybe two others as we grow.
Yeah.
But
always request Steven.
Yeah, that's right.
Steven,
yeah.
Just kidding.
Just kidding. Don't.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit. I'm more interested in the AMI
Sure.
a bit. Touch on what is that?
AMI, Advanced Metering Infrastructure. So we're taking all our meters. They're not old or decrepit by any means, but the benefit of having AMI is innovation. You can kind of see where our strategic plan is as a city and as utilities to be more innovative. We're bringing in fiber. We're bringing in AMI. AMI for the customer, those benefits are going to be just understanding how much power you use, how much water you use. There'll be a customer portal that we're going to roll out with it. So it's interval data. So within every 15 minutes, you can see your power spikes. You can see how much water you use in that customer portal. You can set alerts. There's leak detection. So if you have a continuous run of water, that's going to alert you. That's going to avoid those big bills, that toilet leaking, that water softener leaking. It's going to be able for the utility billing department and the operations department to better understand what's going on at the meter too. So a lot of times we'll know you're having a power issue before you'll know you have a power issue. If there's, half power, low power,
Some abnormalities.
Yep. So a lot of alerts, a lot of data is going to come in to the utility, just to help protect the customer at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Outage management, we'll know exactly. We'll have a map, so we'll know when all the meters are turned back up. So
Sure.
better response.
And what I think is kind of neat is being able to monitor what you're using. Even if you're not concerned or if you don't feel like you use too much. I mean, just like, I guess what does it cost to have my family over for Thanksgiving? you know what I mean? Just like stuff like that of just like, you definitely see that spike, and I'm kind of a data freak about stuff like that. Or even just every time I drive home, my lights are always on. I've got children though, so I blame them.
Right.
But, just to be able to see are the changes we're making a difference,
Yep.
Versus, we'll find out in 2 months and maybe I've already forgot about it, with the city billing, but it's real-time data.
Real-time data. Yep. In that customer portal. And that whole 2 month, we can do our billing process more efficiently. We can kind of squeeze that gap in. Maybe we'll rotate the billing per quadrant. There's a lot of options we have once we get AMI up and running.
And what's that time frame look like?
It's going to go fast. We hired a contractor to put in the electric meters. So I would expect all electric residential meters to be in, let's say, August 1st, just in case there's a wet summer or something.
And then you get, some of the people that with some of those concerns, the health concerns of electric metering and, other things that I'm not super educated on, but I think, is it cancer concern for the most part, or I'm sure you've gotten maybe some questions on that.
There's been a few phone calls. EMF, there's different levels of EMF.
Which is
exposure.
Electrical magnetic fields.
I think that might be it.
EMF, yeah.
Electrical magnetic field. So the different levels. So you have your cellular antennas that are on top of water towers. Those have a big signal strength. You come down to your AMI meter, and it doesn't have that same EMF power.
Sure.
We purchased an EMF tester within the utility. We tested all the meters during the proof of concept. This project's been ongoing for a year before we've rolled it out to the customer. So there's been a lot of testing. We vetted multiple organizations that sell AMI product. You have your cellular product, which has the same EMF as your cell phone that you typically carry in your pocket. You have mesh. That's about 300 times lower EMF exposure. And then we have point to multi-point. That's the system the city of Buffalo invested in. And that has 1,000 times lower than a cell phone.
A cell phone?
Yep. So you take that meter, you hold it to your cell phone, you're at a 10 MW, you hold it to the meter, and you're at 0.01. So, and we wanted safety. We got guys working on these meters. I'll work on the meters every now and then. We don't want to be blasted by any radiation. So if there is any concerns, we can absolutely have that EMF tester in the house. Everyone has EMF in their house at some point, your microwaves, your tablets, your phones, so we'll do a test before we install the meter and then after, and you'll see there's no change.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. It's something that would have never even entered my mind at all, not to be insensitive to other people's thoughts, but it's something I would have never even thought about. And certainly Buffalo's probably not the first community to roll these out.
Nope. There's a good phrase rolling around with our strategic planning. Early bird gets the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese. And I think that's kind of exactly where we're at with a project like this. AMI has gone in, we're probably 15 years into it. So
sure.
We're getting the good, excellent product. Census is the meters that are going in. Xylem is the company that produces those meters. If any customers have any concerns, need specifications, we're happy to share that with them.
Cool.
So. Well, phase two,
and AMI.
Big project's going to be busy this summer.
Yeah, that's good. So keep a lookout for those City of Buffalo trucks and say hi to your local people installing that stuff. So really appreciate you coming in here. This is kind of more of a quick fact-finding mission and just kind of that education for the community. Anything else that we want to touch base on before we kind of wrap things up?
No, again, I appreciate being here for the third time. Got you guys some souvenirs this time.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'll bring an agreement next time. I think I need to get this building signed up.
Yeah, I've talked to Steven. And that I have.
Let's get the pen and paper, right?
Exactly. So, but really appreciate it, Jason. Thanks so much for coming in. For the Buffalo Community Podcast, I'm Tyler Reiss.
Mark Benzer.
Jason Musberger. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for listening to the Buffalo Community Podcast, produced by Edlund Media. You can find us on Facebook and YouTube, as well as anywhere you listen to podcasts.